Hackers is one of the most iconic movies that I never saw back in the day, so when I watched it for the first time recently, I got to experience it for the relic that it used to be, rather than feeling any sense of nostalgia for it. Since I had no sentimental attachment towards it, I could take it for what it is without bias. And that means that I personally see Hackers as pure and utter 90s tackiness packaged with the most rank kind of cheese. Like seriously, find me the most rank cut of French Vieux Boulogne and put it in your mouth, and that's pretty much what Hackers is. From beginning to the very end, this movie taps into overused tropes, bad CGI, and the most paper-thin, one-dimensional characters possible. But man, I still highly recommend watching it. What up, you guys? I'm Kent E.S. Larwill, and I'm a writer, YouTuber, who talks about everything from philosophy, politics, storytelling, and more. The easiest way to support what I do is to subscribe to this channel and like this video. It's free and takes a second to do. As usual, I checked this movie out for free on Tubi, so if you want to check it out, you can most certainly watch it there. And once again, Tubi, if you're watching, then send me some of these dollary dues that you've been making, because I've been supporting the hell out of you. There are many movies that are so bad they never need to be watched. But then there are other movies that are so bad you can't turn away from watching because of its allure, its je ne sais quoi de terrible. This is the kind of bad that you get from Hackers. It's not so bad it's good, but it is so bad it's cheesy enough for you to enjoy it for what it is. The plot goes something like this. A group of hackers stumble upon a computer virus hidden in some big corporation. They are then accused of being the ones responsible for putting the virus there in the first place. It was in fact put there by the evil, selfish hacker who has plans for stealing money and framing the young, innocent hackers. And so our young ragtag group of hackers have to band together and fight off the evil hacker and clear their name. The first point that I'd like to make about this film is how it takes extreme creativity on how hacking works. I don't know much about the trade, but I do know that it's little more than typing in code and then opening files and such. However, in this movie, hacking is portrayed as if you get pulled into some Tron-like realm where you move around in 3D digital diarrhea to access files. To give the movie some credit, I'm sure this was the only way they could make a movie about hackers for kids and somehow make the hacking moments build suspense. The writers were likely sitting in the writing room in front of the script one day saying, "How are we going to show tension in this movie about hackers to make it interesting? Oh, I know, we'll just use relentless amounts of CGI to dramatize a kid sitting at a computer, opening a file while typing a command prompt." Putting the 90s graphics aside, let's turn to the characters. I give the actors credit for acting the hell out of what was put in front of them. We have a young Angelina Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller, with a cast of other young ones doing what they can do with the script in front of them. But these characters lack any depth. To sum up these characters, there's the girl hacker, the guy hacker who wants the girl, the airhead hacker, the black hacker, the Puerto Rican hacker, and then the 13-year-old chain-smoking hacker. Honestly, shout out to the 13-year-old chain-smoking hacker. It's just something that you won't see in today's cinema. There's this one scene where for some reason he's double fisting cigarettes, which seems completely idiotic as to why anyone would ever do such a thing. But then I thought about it longer and pondered, if I was a 13-year-old chain smoker, I would probably smoke 2 cigarettes at the same time too. If you think about it, smoking 1 cigarette is cool, but smoking 2 cigarettes at the same time makes you double the cool. As for the battle between good and evil, there's this idea that one hacker trying to set the kids up is somehow the only evil hacker, and the rest of the hackers out there are somehow all just misunderstood youths. It should be noted that these kids are causing a whole bunch of chaos with their regular hacking. Obviously, the villain is cartoonishly evil, trying to have oil tankers to spill, causing an environmental catastrophe for money. But these kids are going around causing mayhem for no other reason but to mess up people's lives. But maybe I sound too much like Grandpa shaking his cane at the kids rummaging around on his lawn. But then there's the tropes. You have the boy meets girl trope, but will only go on a date with him if he out-hacks her. The child prodigy trope. There's the if teenagers could all just come together, we can overthrow the establishment trope. Generic corporation evil trope. Kids hanging out in some underground treehouse for teens trope. Chick wearing jersey with no bra trope. Montage of pranking the dorky adult trope. Did I mention there was also a 13-year-old smoking 2 cigarettes to look extra cool? I also want to point out how deliciously over the top the costumes these kids are wearing. And I use the word costumes appropriately here, as this is not normal 1990s attire. Believe me, I grew up in the 90s and I don't recall anyone ever wearing any of these kinds of get-ups. Some of the things these kids are wearing look like they took from the Mad Max 2 wardrobe and reused them for trendy kids in New York. From the battle padded leather jacket to the hockey knee pads in the club look, I'm not sure where this all came from. It makes me wonder if this was clothing that some boomer thought kids would see and think was cool, but to me comes off as bizarro special needs attire. As I noticed the errand of this movie being from 1995, I tried to give it some grace given that it was from another era when times were different. But I dwelled on it some more and came to the conclusion that this movie was likely very cheesy even for 1995. If you look at other movies from this time, this is like the same year that we got Casino, The Usual Suspects, and GoldenEye. And I know that these are movies that had likely a much higher budget, but nonetheless, why is the cheese factor turned up to 11 in this? Like, this movie is so cheesy 90s that it belongs in the 80s. So what is it doing here? All of that said, I still highly recommend Hackers. It is an enmeshment of bad one-liners and generic plot points, which leaves you satisfied with how B-side the story rolls, that you also still find yourself rooting for the Mad Max-dressed hackers to fend off the one evil hacker. You won't praise Hackers as top-shelf cinema, but will praise it as quintessential cheese, which so long as you're not lactose intolerant, you'll be happy to add to your palate.